Hi, I'm Sukey the Frugal Frau, and welcome to Tom and Sukey's workshop. Today I'm going to show you how Tom built me these beautiful racks. This one here is for my pots for cooking on the wood stove, which I don't know if you can see that. I'm pointing to it. And then there's another rack above my head, which you can see in the picture frame. And that rack is actually for drying things. And I don't have any laundry right now, but this is how I hang all my laundry, right here, just like that. And then I have another little rack that I use for socks and stuff like this. But this rack is real handy for doing that. And then in the summertime, I could hang other things to dry, like some herbs and things. So with that, let's get started. First, cut the 2x6s in half lengthwise to make two 2x3s. The 2x3 pieces will be used to make the outside frame to hold the cattle panel for the drying rack. Next, Tom cut grooves from each face down the length of one edge of the 2x6s, and this is so he can then cut a groove. Now, he's doing it this way because he doesn't have a dado blade, or what some people refer to as a grooving blade. The inside edge of the drying rack needs to be smooth, and so Tom's going to quickly smooth it off because, as you know, the table saw cuts it kind of roughly. And so next he will take a chisel and start chopping out the actual groove, which, as I stated before, you could have cut with a dado blade, but we don't have a dado blade. And if you don't have a dado blade, you can always do it this way. Yeah, it takes a little bit more time, but we're used to cutting grooves and things by hand, so there you go. After Tom has finished getting the bulk of the waste out with a chisel, he then takes his large homemade router plane, and I will put a link to that in the description and right here in a card, and he smooths out the bottom of that groove. This is the typical way that Tom works when making all kinds of joints. He'll typically get the bulk of the waste out with a chisel and then use a router plane to smooth out the final bit. If you try to use a router plane from the get-go or the initial stages, you'll wear yourself out, and maybe you'll wear out your router plane too. Next, Tom cuts the corner joints, which are bridal joints, which is how the frame is connected together. On the long ends, he cut the tenons, and on the short ends, he cut the actual bridal part that goes over the tenons. I want to mention that he left a shoulder on the very outside edge so he could use his router plane. So now he just chisels that off. Otherwise, with that small router plane or even a larger router plane, if you don't have that little shoulder left, you really can't use it because you're not going to keep it level. Tom has finished cutting all the tenons for all the longer pieces of this frame, and now he's cutting the actual bridal part out of the shorter pieces of this frame. After Tom finishes cutting the inside edges of the bridle on each end, he just uses a chisel to remove the waste. At this point, the frame is dry fit together. Do not glue it. And now put your cattle panel over it, and you can mark where you're going to have to cut the cattle panel. And he's already marked on the frame where the wire part will be inserted into the grooves, and therefore it won't be cut too short. So be sure to make marks on the outside. You can see at the lower left of the frame there a little tiny pencil mark. After marking where to cut the wire, use your heavy-duty wire cutters to cut the metal mesh to size. Save all the scrap because you can use that to bend into hooks to hang your pots if you're making a pot rack, or hooks to hang up herbs or whatever else you want to hang up. We dry fitted the entire frame and installed the metal mesh to make sure it all worked out before we started gluing. And then once that was correct, we put the metal mesh in between the two longer pieces or rails, and then we started gluing the shorter end pieces, the bridle joints, onto the tenons of the longer pieces. Note we have clamps there ready to clamp this all together at the end. After gluing the joints, Tom drills a couple holes in through the joint with a drill, and this is so he can install wooden nails, and that helps to secure it. He makes wooden nails all the time, and they're fairly easy to make, and I'll put a link to that video in the description too. And this is the last of the sides to be put together. And I just wanted to show this because it's a little bit better close-up view so you can see it. And yeah, these joints fit snugly, and so he uses a small wooden mallet to put it up together. It has already had glue installed on it, and then tightens the clamp. And then, of course, once again, he will drill 2 holes through each of those bridle joints and install wooden nails, and that just helps to secure that joint. Be sure to install those wooden nails with a little bit of glue too. Finish the frames however you like. I stained them and then put a 333 oil finish on top of that. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps the channel out.